What would you rather, Fred or Keith?
I would take Keith over Fred any day of the week.
Oh, man. Or Vito. I think Vito might be worse than Fred.
Vito is hideous in a different way.
Yeah, totally.
Vito is ethnically hideous. Fred is bland hideous.
Vito's hideous because of guys that are nothing like this Vito.
Hey, yo, how you doing?
But my name is like, Keith. What are you gonna do with that?
Yeah, there's no problem with
You
Keith.
can call me Keithy, and then
Kathy.
children will start bastardizing that into Kathy.
Hey, come on, we don't. But yeah, I'm a tremendous. I don't want to say I'm a tremendous fan of Keith, but Keith is like it's middle of the road. It's average. It's good.
The guy or the name?
No. The name. The guy's hideous.
See, Chris and Brian are very average
Dullsville.
names. Very
Dullsville.
average.
Crying.
I put Fred, Chris, Brian all in the same category. Kind of dull, boring.
I like the name Fred because of Fred Mertz. I could do that name.
See, whenever you know a Fred, though, he's Fred. What's up, Fred?
Fred Mertz.
Yeah, I don't like Fred.
Yeah, but he's Freddy,
Is that what
too.
every time you think of me, that's what you think? It's like, I got to call this guy Fred.
No, you know what I think every time I think of it? It's like, oh, Jesus. That's the immediate thought that comes to mind. Like my wife calls, oh, Fred's on the phone. Oh, yeah, all right.
Can't believe your wife likes me more than you do.
What do you can't believe it? What, do we just meet?
This Freddie Garcia, the pitcher.
Freddie is not as bad as Fred. Or Frederick.
Is your name
Fred.
Alfredo?
No, it's Frederick.
Okay.
It's Frederick Henry. Frederick Henry.
Alfredo Gunch.
If any
sorry.
If any Alfredo out there goes by a name other than Al, I'm disappointed.
Or Alf.
Alfie.
Alfie.
What about Frady? Frady the cat.
Fredo.
Oh, you mean Alfredi as he runs through Stormwind on his champion steed, casting spells?
If you have a child. If you had a son right now, what would you name him?
Fred.
Okay, Vito?
Well, I've already discussed this, actually.
All right, you know what? Hey, well, let me do this.
Hey, you've already discussed it.
Oh,
with
not
the
on the
three
air.
people.
No, I mean,
Yeah, so
oh no, I wasn't done
let's do it for the
talking.
ratio.
Let's minus naming it after a relative or someone's relative. Something you feel obligated to do. If you were
Oh
just
no.
gonna
I'm not going to do that. Like that's a family thing for me, and I always
Okay.
said if I had a second son, I would do that. I would name him after like my father. or
You could
my-
always use the middle name for that too. But
Yeah. But like, I've already said that I was going to name my kid Christopher Coltrane.
Christopher Coltrane.
I think I know him. His brother was a famous jazz musician.
He did that song. I don't know why that's.
That was Duke Ellington.
Sorry.
Why? What would you name a son if you had a Keith? Do you know?
I think Christopher Getz, actually. But not after Stan Getz, after Bernie Getz. I don't know.
I thought you were mispronouncing Jamie Lee Curtis's husband's name, Christopher Getz.
I think I would name... I don't know. If it was a boy, I think I would name him Tad.
Come on, really?
If you have a boy named Tad, all the girls are going to call him Tad the Cad, which is hot.
Tad is...
Tad.
What? Tad the Cad.
All the girls will probably...
And then when he has a kid, he'll be Tad the dad.
Chris, if you had a son, what would you name him?
Well, I've already said it. Tyler is my favorite name in the
Tyler?
world.
Really?
Tyler's
Tyler?
My daughter, when we thought she was a boy, when we were mistakenly told at first she was a boy, we started talking to Tyler. She was Thai, so we thought. But she's actually Filipino, not Thai. But yeah, no, Tyler was. I'm a big fan of Ty, and I'm a big fan of Tyler. I love that. I like Jackson too. I like Jackson. I'm a big fan of Jackson because I like the idea of having a Jack. That sounds so sexy. But
I had a Jack this morning.
But the whole thing with Michael Jackson doesn't come into play there?
if you say Jackson to me, Michael Jackson comes down. It comes down way lower than that. I don't think anything about him. I don't think when I think Jackson, the first thing that comes to mind is not Michael Jackson.
Tito.
Yeah, obviously, Jermaine is who it is, without question. I really just want to be juggling.
I'd name him Horace.
And what kind of a name is Tad, Keith?
It's short for Thaddeus.
By the way, people in the chat room are already voting to soil Brian's gift.
Shocking.
Soil it unless it's blank lube. I don't know what the blank is because it comes up as censored in the Ustreamer room.
Probably the A word.
Coolie?
Yes.
I spell coolie with an A.
I spell it with a 4. All right, well.
All right, well, thanks for coming to the show. See you guys next week. We'll be a part of some sort of majesty.
Some kind of magic, if you will.
Yeah, you want to talk about other Christmas huge things?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week, I don't know if you guys are like 14-year-old boys like me and you read Sports Illustrated magazine. This week's Sports Illustrated, the cover story is about Kevin Everett. You guys remember who Kevin Everett is?
No.
I do because I saw the magazine.
He's the child of the tennis player and the Rams quarterback.
Yes, exactly. Kevin Everett is the Bills tight end who broke his neck the first game of the season at the second half.
Yeah, the spinal cord
his name
injury,
was
right?
Kevin.
Yeah, he was paralyzed. There was, you're never going to walk again, blah blah blah. Definitely not going to play football again, blah blah blah. That whole thing. And he's like standing, walking around on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And like, I don't want to be like oh, it's such a feel good sappy story, but it's honestly the coolest thing I've ever read in my life. I recommend everyone go out and get Sports Illustrated and read Kevin Everett's story. It's just the coolest thing in the world. This dude is alive and he's walking around. He's like working out.
They think he might be playing again, right?
He'll definitely never play football again.
No,
'cause
really?
He could walk, but it's work for him to walk right now.
Do you think they'll respect him enough to give him at least a coaching job?
He's already gotten offers from high schools and to do coaching, and the Bills have done it in such a way that he has not felt the strain of any of the of his medical bills as a result of this. They've absorbed them all.
They better.
Yeah, so technically your health insurance should cover that for you.
Yeah. Okay, but someone.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, talk to other sports figures out there. Talk to every other retired NFLer who's like dying that doesn't.
The injuries that you're sustaining in the game, medical insurance isn't
Well,
going to cover most of it.
I'm joking when I say medical insurance because I would go so far as to say I would say the majority of the professional football players out there can't even get medical insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would be great if like I don't want to say the management of the team, but somebody in Buffalo said, hey, we should sell out every game this season just so we can pay for Kevin's bills or something like that.
Yeah, selling out a game is hard. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the problem
Don't they sell out all their games?
I was going to say the problem is you have to go watch.
question.
You have to go watch the Bills though if you pay for a ticket to that game.
Unless they're playing Miami.
I think the Bills sell out all their games, don't they?
There's not an NFL team other than maybe the Arizona Cardinals that don't sell out every single game. I even think the Cardinals at this point, now that they're halfway decent, they're actually probably selling out every game too.
Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah.
What are they playing in Sun Devil Stadium?
They used to. I don't know if they still do.
I was by the new City Field last night in the general area. I really want to be able to get the Mets' new stadium in 2009.
Yeah, but it's
I don't want to be shut out of tickets.
I haven't physically seen anything yet. Has anything been erected as of yet?
It's coming into place now. Yeah, it's not. You don't see a stadium when you pass it, but it's coming into place. By the time this new season opens, it'll probably be erected as far as the walls and everything.
Yeah, like when you drive by the Meadowlands, like you already see the shell of the new Giant Stadium already starting.
Dude, I was on Roosevelt up to like 103rd. I didn't get all the way up there. Sorry, I was 20 blocks away. I was in the general area of City Field. Thanks for pointing out, though.
I was excited because I thought you were going to tell me an exciting story.
No, I just really want to get tickets, though. And I know it's going to be hard. Unless the Mets finish in last place this year, then no one will care about the new stadium.
Speaking of Sports Illustrated again, after the winter meetings, they asked a representative from each team's management what you think about what your team's going to do. What you think about what's been accomplished here, and everyone's just like, yeah, we're doing well, team's growing, doing good, like this. And Omar Minaya has to say championship caliber. Like, he's the only jerk who has to just blatantly come out and say, we're going to win everything.
See, he's actually the equivalent of, like, me. Like, I could see him saying El Duque, 22 wins Cy Young, like when I do my baseball predictions.
Zach El Duque?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, by the way, speaking of baseball, as we know, we discussed last week about the Mitchell report coming out, the steroid thing, and
why is it called the Mitchell report?
George Mitchell was the guy that put it together, and
I thought Kevin Mitchell was somehow involved.
Believe it or not, he wasn't. He was cutting cats' heads off without steroids, I guess. And apparently, as you know, Roger Clemens was named as one of the people on the report, and so Derek Jeter came out to his defense this week, which is fine. It's his teammate, it's his friend. I understand he's going to do that, and he said, everyone should hear all the facts first, blah blah blah. And then Jabba Chamberlain decided to pipe up and give his opinion on the whole thing.
And said, Ukatula, cheater.
And he was infuriated about how Roger Clemens, people need to see this guy's work ethic and, and understand what a competitor he is if they think he would do that. You know what, Jabba Chamberlain? If we want to know about who on the Nebraska Cornhuskers in 2006 was doing steroids, then we'll ask your opinion. I understand you pitched 19 innings in September and August